my channel. Today I have a film review for you guys, my first film review. And it is of Dismissed. Anyway. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I have a film review ready for you guys. It is of Dismissed, Dylan Sprouse's latest film, directed by Benjamin Arfman, if I pronounced that correctly, and it came out in 2017. So, Dismissed is famous for being Dylan Sprouse's comeback film. I don't know if he did any films before that, but I knew it as his comeback film. And a lot of people were asking questions like, will he be able to live up to the hype? You know, is he going to be as good as his brothers in Riverdale and all of the stuff that Cole Sprouse is doing right now? There was just a lot of... I personally feel like it was very hyped. It wasn't necessarily hyped in media and whatever. I saw it on social media, but I think people were talking about it a lot just because he's been MIA for so long. And a lot of people told me to watch it, so that's why I did watch it. And I don't know if I'd watch it again, but you know, it was okay. It was a film. So the logline goes as follows. An idealistic straight-edge teacher is drawn down a horrid rabbit hole by an honest student when he gives him a B+ on a paper. So it's a thriller and it's a suspense film. Whether I felt any suspense is still unclear. So first impressions, I watched this film with a friend of mine when she came over. Ember, shout out to her. And the first thing she said was, oh, it's a low budget film. Like, she was very disappointed. And all I could do was laugh. I was just like, wow. So the filming, the cinematography looks cheap. No offense. I don't know what the budget was, but it looks cheap. So, you know, already you're just like, it's probably going to be average. Probably. But anyway, so Dylan plays Lucas Ward, the honor student, and he's the new kid in school, and he looks like a problem from the moment he walks in. Like, just the expression on his face, I'm like, okay, this kid has issues. That was, speaking of which, Dylan Sprouse's acting was so on point for this film. It really, really was. Like, well done to him. The last thing I watched that he was in was Sweet Life on Deck, actually. I was going to say exactly Cody. No, it was On Deck. And we're living the sweet life now. Hey ho! Whoa, let's go! That was the last thing I watched that he was in. So I went in with like Disney expectations and it was better than Disney. So well done. So as I said, it's a thriller and suspense movie, and the poster was really, really ominous. Like, I was like, ooh. Like, I'll be honest, a good amount of why I watched the film is because the poster looked really, really great. Because, I mean, I saw the poster before I heard anything about the movie, so I was like, I'm going to watch that. And then it was just sitting there until somebody told me, okay, you should watch it. And then I did, and then I was like, but why? But yeah, the poster gives an ominous feeling. And the film itself, like, the tone that it sets is very ominous. And his face and whatnot. But, like, because of that, it hypes you to a certain level. Like, you're like, okay, this is almost going to be a horror movie, but not. Lucas's favorite subject is English. You know, he goes to his English class, and the teacher there's name is Mr. David Butler. Obviously not Mr. David Butler, but Mr. Butler / David. Mr. Butler, David. And, you know, he's obviously impressed with Lucas because, I mean, Lucas is clearly enthusiastic about literature, so that's great. So my first sign that this dude was a creep, besides the expression when he walked into the class, was when he handed in like a dissertation level essay. Like, that thing was thick. It was like this thick, yay thick, and he handed that in when everyone else was handing in like stapled on the corner essays. So then I was like, he's definitely a psychopath. No one does that. Obviously the marks come back and he gets a B+. And everyone leaves the class. Obviously homeboy is like, a B+? I never. Anyway, I don't know why I'm being so extra in this review, but anyway. So he is not happy with this B+. And he confronts Mr. Butler about it. Mr. Butler gives him like, I can't remember, but I think it was a valid reason on why he did not get an A. And this guy cannot handle it. Like, he's very, very upset. Right? So then it starts this battle between the two of them, because now he goes and he like questions Mr. Butler's qualifications. Like, he's like, are you Ivy League? And he's like, state. And yeah, he questions his qualifications. No one likes to be questioned. You know what I mean? So that just starts a revenge. Mr. Butler gets mad, gives him an F on his report card. And that's when homie goes on a revenge downward spiral. I don't know what to call it. I don't know. The story itself was really well written, I think. But I had issues with the way the story was executed, because the story was really good. But the execution was like, okay, but like if you read this book, it would probably be super interesting if it was about this thick. But the film itself was really short. I think it was an hour and 20 minutes or something, if I remember correctly. But my point is, because of that, they had to like pack everything in. And it's not that it's fast paced and all of that. It's just that the way that the stuff happens, it's kind of like they don't really focus on it and then they move on. So I know shorter is usually better, but I think that with another 30 minutes, this film could have done a lot. Then something that was, for me, inauthentic was just that at the end, like, Mr. Butler didn't get punished for anything. You know? And I get that, I can't tell you how it ends, you know, for spoiler purposes, but I get that. Another thing about this drama, it's super familiar. Like, all of the motives for a typical thriller are there. There's even a baby. I mean, come on. It's like a baby in every good horror movie and thriller. But, you know, all of the motives are there and it's super familiar. And I think that's a reason why the length didn't work. Because all of this familiarity, you should have been able to spin it into something a bit more original. So I read a review on thatmomentintime.com and they said that the fast pace was really good because it was so familiar. No one wants to watch that for an extended period of time. But I felt because it was so fast paced, because maybe they were aware of the fact that everything in this is familiar, we didn't really get to absorb things. You know what I mean? It was just over. And we're like I finished the movie and I was like, that's it. It's like, and my friend was like, yeah, friend, that's it. And I was like, come on. What now? Like, it was it felt incomplete. The whole movie felt incomplete. And there was closure on like all of the elements, but it really did feel incomplete. But I think another thing that was really done well was the incorporation of literature into the film, because obviously it's an English class and that's Lucas's favorite subject. There's times where they use metaphors from stories and whatever the case is, and that sets a tone for themes and all sorts of things like that. So I think that was really, really well done. As I said, like I felt like we already knew what the issues with this film were gonna be just from the genre itself. So, you know, at least roll with it instead of like trying to cut it short. But other than that, I think it was an okay film. Would I watch it again? Probably not. But I watched it and now I can say that I have. But yeah, it's nothing that I would recommend to anyone, but it wasn't horrible. It was just okay. Like, it wasn't great either. But yeah, if we're talking about Dylan Sprouse, he was fantastic. And yeah, that's all I have to say about that. So if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and you know, leave any suggestions for films you'd like me to review. They can be foreign films as well, not just American or English films. Yeah, and leave your opinions on my review as well. So see you next time.